Hey folks, it's 6:55 a.m. Monday, February 15th. 6:55. That's no jive. Uh, 55 is strong movement and 6 is intuition. Um, well, becoming more aware of yourself. Becoming more aware of yourself is what that thought process actually was. Folks, when we talk in the other side, we don't speak English like we do here. Okay, it's through basic thought process, knowledge, data, image, feeling, gut feeling. It's a mixture of things. Uh, that's just what it's like. Um, I want to talk a little bit. um, Hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Should have turned the thing off to do that. Have some company with us. Some neat company. And of course, there's always buttheads hanging around. Um, um, the date, what is it? Monday is 1, February is 2, and then 15th is the 15th. So that's 5121. Physically moving the self and understanding for the self. Um, I had done a video before, and I'm going to not continue from there, but this is additional to it. It's called Gaian abuse, and I know, was it body death, Gaia's unknown abuse, and yours. That's what it was called. This one will be called Gaian abuse and a warning for source and metaphysical freedom leaders, those involved in this movement, for everyone to have their abilities released so they can see everything everywhere. That does a horrible thing. It actually helps you find your own truth. It releases any type of validity for all these lies. It releases the ability for the other side to actually say, I'm God. Okay? I told you this stuff is stopping and it's going to stay stopped. Um, okay. Um, in the other video, I was talking about what body death, Gaia's unknown abuse, and yours. I talked a lot about when the body dies, uh, and then how the spirit that comes from Gaia. That see, Gaia, she broke off a lot of parts of her own personal energy to go out and have lives. These are independent beings now. Okay, they're under her, control as much as possible. Um, but they do go back in other bodies. Boom, boom, in and out, in and out. Um, they can go in human or animal or plant or anything. Um, she decides what's going to happen there. Okay, she takes care of placement. However, having said that, it wasn't always like that. The original male and female first being, they would actually decide who gets what when it comes to special cases. Those of you with source in your body, you're one of those. Those of you that have soul and some essence in your body and you have a job relative to this new awakening, yeah, you definitely had some of these put in your body. There's been a lot of Source having lives here for a while. I've had more lives on this planet than anyone else. 220. This is my 220,000th life exactly. That's a whole lot of bodies that I've been in that have had different parts of this of Gaia's spirit broken off in me, or that I worked with. That's made a lot of parts of her energy strong. Okay. Now, also, it got to the point I was taking most of them with me, but still, what I could separate, that was strong. So, with those of you that are Source, you've been doing the same thing. It's not as strong, but it's still strong, very strong. Making planetary essence that's part of Gaia, making that much stronger than it ever should be. Remember, when the body dies, the spirit that came from Gaia, the Gaia's essence that's in the body, the other part of the Kundalini or your core energy, it's definitely, it's really strong. It's an individual. And when it's in your body and you are Source, you're making it stronger all the time. And because it does bond, because we bond with it, that also makes another problem. I've had parts of other bodies come at me, and I can look at it and I can tell who it is. And they have Source in them, and they're an issue. Some of them are so strong that while the energy, the spirit, sentient energy, is trapped in the body, they're stronger than it while it's still in the body. That's not good. Different bodies that have Source in it. I've had the planetary essence come out and attack me for a long time. Same with Paul, Burju, Michelle, and there's others. Trust me. Well, don't trust me. I'm just telling you there's others. All I do is give you information. You make up your own minds. So anyway, then I had something happen recently. I mean, I see, folks, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I don't do a video about every single thing happening, but if I think it's important for you to know, to help understand what's going on, or just important for you to know that it happened, then I talk about it. I talk with our family in space, things with the government, Gaia, spirit. I mean, I talk about everything. You all know that. But this guy in spirit, it can be trouble. It's the spirit that's inside this body that's part of Gaia, that came from Gaia. It's been hammering me lately, and I've been killing it. It's kind of weird stuff. I've gone to my lady to help her with that. I've gone to a lot of others to help them with that. It's and people wonder why I want to get out of this body. I want to be free. As soon as I'm out of this, take off this outfit, then I can go ahead and this human body outfit. Then I can go ahead and finally clean up, empty the trash basket. So anyway, that's the part of this video that's like a warning or a heads up for Source and other strong people that are here that are involved in this new movement for freeing the metaphysical abilities. That's something to start trying to feel if you could. To see, to feel, to know is to understand. The more you understand about different things, the smarter or more wisdom you have that you've acquired. We get to keep it after every life, but when we go back in the body, we can't access it. Now, about the body when it dies, someone very close to me, a family member, she has a mom that's very sick and not doing good. And she can feel, she knows. She's got a ton of lily in her. And so she was seeing and feeling for herself when we had a consult a little while ago, and I worked with her, and she didn't understand how strong she was. Next thing you know, we're flying around that space station out in near kind of towards Jupiter, between Jupiter and Saturn, but usually closer to Jupiter, and it's in space. It's not right near the planet. And then I told her to go look at some things about when the Anunnaki ambassador actually came into the house. And then, without saying anything, I'd ask her, like, what color is his aura and stuff. And then I told her to go look at the video so that she has her own affirmation that she was right. So she's starting to understand who she is and the power that's running through her body. But her mom is tired, and she's in what I call the twilight of her life. It's a sad moment for everyone that loves them, but for them it's a release to go home. And she was, she's awakening and feeling. As we awaken, we all want to awaken as fast as possible, know as much as possible. We start taking off because it feels so good. We get all excited. Lots of times we'll ask others that we know are already much more awoken questions. Well, that's good. We need to see things for ourselves, but in a situation like this, she doesn't have the time to search all this stuff for herself, and besides, I like to help anyway. But she was asking, like, when someone dies or the judge and all this other stuff, and no. Everyone in and out of body has always been under constant judgment by the original first being, male and female. They want to make sure that you kissed their butt, respected them as quote-unquote God, and that you were willing to do whatever they wanted you to do. In or out of body. That's the only judgment there was. Are you serving me? Okay. And when they die, what happens? Well, when you die, the spirit of the body goes back to the earth, and then the spirit that you actually are, for the most part, inside, takes off and goes home. You've heard me say, quite a few times about that silver thread that comes out of you. And people said, I've seen it coming out, and it goes to the right, up and to the right, about 2.5 foot, and it stops. Well, if you do the math, 1.5 foot to your right and 3 foot up, and you go up there, and then you make a little thing, that's about what it is. Amazing. Wow. I guess maybe that's a little proof about some of the stuff I say. I don't know, whatever. You all use your abilities to feel what I say, and then you see some of the stuff I talk to you about, and then you understand. But anyway, she was also wondering, is it like a collection of souls and stuff that we go to and stuff? Well, when there's souls of different variety, of different various percentages of negative frequencies, they tend to hang out more together. When you have spirit energy that's really light, the negative stuff, I'm sorry, it's kind of kept away. It's not like it can't get near it, but it's not allowed to go into it. There's a difference. Because they can go near it, and then if they have a friend inside, the friend comes out and they talk. They have a good time. But if something really negative goes in like a community of energy that's really light, they have issues. They don't quite see things the same way. Folks, I know a lot of wonderful beings that are negative, and it saddens my heart every time I look at them and feel them that was done to them. It's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. It's the whole thing. The way creation is wrong. And what caused that first being to come out like that, all that heavy particulate matter in the first dimension, that's really close to being taken care of permanently. We don't need that. Man, it's crazy how creation has grown. From miscellaneous energy fields floating around in the first dimension, just floating around. The first thing the human mind wants to say, well, how did that get there? Can't answer that, sorry. Don't have the answer for that. But I know it's a big, long area, and then it took a long time for these different energies to keep moving around and slowly start coming towards each other. And the more that came together, the faster it pulled other energies in towards it, and that's how you have the actual first dimension, as we call it. And this one particular part of it is blocked out. Nobody goes in. Nothing goes in, nothing goes out. It's left alone. It's almost like an incubating chamber or something. Anyway, so there's nothing to judge you, especially now, except for little idiots running around. There is a lot of freedom. The groups, like when you have soul, there's a field of souls, like a group community of souls. They like to hang around together. They're very similar. And then there's also fields of essence. You know, there's Fey essence, human essence, Feynman essence, plan essence. We all communicate, and we are a community, now more than ever, and it's only just begun. But we do like to hang out with our kind a lot. It's just we don't stay there. You know, do we spend a lot of time there? Sure. How much time depends on the individual spirit, and that, but you know, folks, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. Handle this life thing, waking up. It's all good. You find out when you get home. That's where you really live anyway. Okay? So, some people go in there. When I say people, I'm talking about spirit, okay, sentient energy. Some people go into this basic community and they stay there 98% of the time. Some go in there, and there's very few that spend less than half the time there. So that gives you some kind of ballpark. It all depends on the individual spirit. Trying to think of anything else she asked. And like I already said, you all know that the spirit from the planet is what really wants to hold on to that body and not let go. It's very comfortable with the planet. It's got a much stronger bond with it than we do as a visiting spirit. We're just there to visit. We're not really part of that body, attached to it, and that's the part that doesn't want to let go. But this young lady is relaxing, and when she feels right, she'll go home. It hurts me to feel others hurting. Not like it does them, but it just, I want everyone to be as happy as they can, as long as they can, as often as they can. So, one thing too I want to say about the spirit that's in a planet, and one reason it's attacking. The stuff that's attacking is really strong, and if you'll excuse the expression, cocky. Okay, it's got an attitude. It's had too many lives too quick, with too much source in it here on this planet. There's a whole lot of source on this planet right now. There's some arrows, there's some lilies, there's the arrow lily combinations. And these bodies that are here on the planet that have the spirit of Gaia in it, these individuals, they haven't had enough time in between lives. They've been abused hard. They have some negative frequencies within them, need to be cleaned out. I've gone ahead and done stuff. I've actually done as much of that as I can to the spirit outside. The spirit inside the body, it's a little harder to do it, especially when you do it in mass. I'm doing what I can. There's so much of the stuff out flowing around. I can help everything more when I get out of here. But in the meantime, those of you that are really strong, and especially source, when you feel something coming at you, feel into it. See if you feel it's from Gaia. Usually with me, I actually get a picture, an image. It's pineal, so it's not as high definition as it is through the scanner, but I get an image of the actual person. And then I feel into it and I read the frequencies, and sure enough, it'll be from Gaia. Some of the stuff I've cleaned and pulled my energy back out, source energy back out. When it's someone else, I pull the source energy out of it, put it back into the actual part of the being, and then clean that part of the spirit and let it go. When I said being, put it back into the being, I meant the spirit being. The visiting spirit. And then I'll take what's left for Gaia. And I can already tell how clean it is. Hello, negativity monitor here. And I'll give it back to Gaia, but Gaia, one time I gave her something before I started taking the time to look at it, and she actually started trying to kill it. So I pulled it out and I did what I could, saved what I could, and got rid of the rest. That's another way the Gaia is being abused. And the poor spirit beings in her. And I mean, folks, it's nuts what's going on. I'm not a gloom and doom sayer, okay? But I'm going to tell you what it is. I've told you things are going to get better, and people who can really feel, they can feel things better right now. It doesn't mean it's not still trouble. Man. It's kind of crazy. When I work on someone individually, do that like the 40-minute consultation with the quote-unquote free energy work, I pull all that stuff out of you. But it's hard to do that playing it wide. It's like right even now, this stuff's trying to put me to sleep. And that's a part of my own Gaian energy. I pull, you haven't seen my ears now. I just pull my own energy out of it so it's weak and it can't do diddly squat. No, this is clean enough. It's not demented. And Gaia took it back. It'd be nice if more people could see that. In your all's heads. We have such a nice family that's just been beat on too hard, too long. It's kind of like a big house full of like a boarding house full of kids, and all of a sudden, mom and dad come home and croak, or they die in a car wreck on the way home, and finally everyone's free with a little bit of resultant chaos, but things are going to get nice. That I can smile about. I'm building some other things for y'all too. Oh, by the way, I got a bunch of packages out. You'll probably get it before I give you the tracking number. Um, I need some help doing this stuff. I have someone that I want to help, including her mom and dad, and she has Lily inside. She's very young. Well, she's not very young to herself. In a spirit, she's incredibly old. She is a part of Lily. But she's very young. Heck, I'm a lot older than her parents. And eventually, before I get out of here, I'd like her to understand. I want to help her understand who she is, what she can do, and for her to start doing consults. She's really strong. Anything that has Lily and Ara in it is very strong. And anything that has Lily in it, very powerful. My lady, man, I miss her so much. It kills me. I can't think about it. Anyway, she is so strong. It's crazy. She is such a powerhouse. It's hard to be away from her. Anyway, I don't have anything on the video on the website about it yet, but when we do a consult for $25, I'll send off the send off your the actual video, make a copy of it, put it on Dropbox, boom, shoot it to you. I've been blowing over the amount of with the videos and Dropbox, everything else. I've been blowing over my 300 gig that I get from the cable company, so I have to, literally get a second account now. I can't afford to keep doing that and keep paying for it. Okay, so I have to charge for that. As soon as I have things settled in over here, if I can, I'm going to try and have, see if I can put together one town meeting or something. Try and get about 150 people there. And it'll be cheap, It's like $20 a person. And spend most all day. I'll have to take a break to come home and take care of Herky. But it'll have to be somewhere nearby. I will not leave him. Never. He's been an anchor for me to stay in this body. But also, if there's any small groups in the Atlanta area that want a group crank up or something, if you have your own small little groups, just send me an email and let me know. If you would, for the title, put group crank up or something, whatever, group meeting. And whatever you, on that, as far as pricing goes, just contact me and we'll talk about it. A lot of times you have different groups. You have a leader that's in there that takes care of things and works finances and everything. I'll talk with them individually. I'm just looking around. Things kind of quiet. I had this weird looking guy screw with one of my computers, some guy on a ship. I haven't done anything to him yet, but I will. I'm tired of being bothered. Boo, 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 boo. And I guess that's about. Oh yeah, some of these new things I'm building. Uh, I'm in the process of having 250 pounds of some very serious selenite shipped in from Morocco. Uh, Very high quality, just like this other stuff that I'm selling. The Sahara Desert and everything out there, the heat really makes good selenite. This stuff here, you can see it's a little more translucent. It's not as fibrous where it breaks off. Now, the fiber stuff that breaks off, that stuff's fine too. It's got good energy in it. But it's a little bit different. Part of that powder is what I've shown you before. I'll take this and pack it up, just kind of crunch it a little more, and I use it for filling in the spheres. I'll put other selenite and stuff, of course, a lot of stuff in there, but it's like packing for inside it, okay? It's extra energy, extra high vibration energy in there. Y'all gonna love these new spheres. I'm about to make some, hopefully today. Got to talk with some other people, lawyers, accountants, merchants. Anyway, let this go for now. There's a lot hanging in the air right now out in space. A lot of people watching, wondering, taking precautions, making time for proper placement. The thought process there is taking the time to put the right people in the right place at the right time. Huh. Someone's about to be stupid. Gee, imagine that, huh? Anyway, folks, love you. Take care. Hope you have a good one. And those of you that can, please start looking at some of this Gaian energy. Just look inside a body. Look at the two spirits inside. And start seeing and feeling. Use all your abilities. And start trying to see the two different ones in there. Okay? And I'll do what I can to help you out. Anyway, folks, look, love you. Take care. Have a good one.